Marvel's The Eternals was the introduction of Dane Whitman, aka Black Knight. For a while now, we've been speculating on where exactly the character ends up next, because obviously in the post-credit scene, Blade shows up to talk to him about the sword. Now the actor opens up a little bit more on where exactly we could see the character and teases his future. So Kit was recently making the rounds talking about his career. Of course, he's asked about Game of Thrones and all that. And of course, The Eternals was brought up, and his character specifically, and more so the direction that they might go in. And he did say that right now, he doesn't really know. And he doesn't want to come off as a liar or anything, but if you look at the things going on out there, the way the story leaves his character, what they're setting up, that there's obviously things happening, and that he is currently just waiting for the phone call, and he's going to show up wherever they tell him. Now, to me, this is one of those twofold answers. One, he is telling the truth, but he's masking telling the truth with a lie. Because I do think he knows and kind of has an idea where he's going. Obviously, Blade shows up. So he's going to be somewhere wherever Blade is. Whether that's teaming up with Blade or not. Could it be in the multiverse? Maybe, maybe not. Moon Knight might also make sense because of that connection. Werewolf by Night could make sense as well. Because we see that Black Knight in the MCU seems to be getting set up as a sort of Marvel Knights type of Midnight Suns character, more so than he was ever in the comics, really. And I do think that this is honestly okay, and I'm 100% okay with this. If they want to expand the darker side of the MCU and use the mythos that he comes with and kind of reshape it for something that's a little bit more basic and understandable by people, having him be a member of this darker team that's more based on the occult and, the supernatural is 100%, I think, what you need to do, especially if you want to kind of go in a direction where he doesn't necessarily have to show up in all the big events and crossovers and everything, and you have to pull him into space or the quantum realm or wherever, where, again, the character could legitimately go because of his comic history. I think they're going to take a different approach with this character, especially with the whole sword aspect and how he draws his powers and how he even gets his powers, for the matter. And I mean, the ebony sword is clearly there, and that was forged by Merlin. So, again, you can pull in that Doctor Strange connection, you can pull in that magical connection and have all that be there. And I mean, they already seem to be hinting some weird way towards Null, since Gore the God Butcher has a connection to the symbiotes and everything, and the Ebony Sword and Black Knight have a connection to it. So this could all sort of end up converging towards the same location eventually. But I think they're going to even try to streamline this down even more, honestly, and just kind of make it something that's related to the Arthurian legends, related to Merlin, and just briefly touch upon it and then catch up with him now, and here's your sword, and get to killing ancient things, Arthurian, history and lore and all that. Again, it all ties in, really. If you just look at the Darkhold where it originates, there you go. You can connect it all easily.